Hello everybody, MegaZard's here. I'm back at it again to give y'all another video, and this time I bring y'all my second edition of MegaZard's Gamers Brief, where I'll take the time to sit down and talk about all the gaming related news that we got within the past week. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive up into these several topics I have to discuss to y'all today, because man, there was a lot of stuff that went down this week though. So starting off on Sunday, January the 19th, we had a new rumor of a new Paper Mario and a new Metroid that's supposed to be releasing sometime in 2020. Now, we constantly been hearing, news reports about, what has been next for Nintendo in terms of, or their next new, like, what they're going to bring off to the table for the year of 2020, and Metroid has constantly been in the cycle, as well as potentially a new Paper Mario though, but I'll break down the Paper Mario thing first. And what the rumor on this one is the fact that they're saying that this is going to be like a return to form. So this might be sort of kind of like a Paper Mario that's kind of more traditional in terms of, going back and looking through, the Paper Mario that was on the Nintendo 64, or the critically acclaimed one, the 1,000-Year Door that was on the GameCube. They're saying that basically this new Paper Mario is going to be a return to form. So it's not going to be like something like a port of what could be like Color Splash from the Wii U and bringing that over to the Switch. No, they're saying that it's going to be a brand new one. And all I got to say about this is, if it's a brand new one, please let it be to form, because, based upon the stuff that happened in Color Splash, it seemed to be an alright game, but to most of that core fan base, it wasn't really the game that they really been looking for. And, the series has been all over the place, especially with Sticker Star. Not really a big fan of that one though. But yes, please bring this series back to light, and please bring some justice to it. And then moving on to the Metroid one. Now, Metroid has been constantly in the cycle ever since we basically had that one E3 where they brought up the whole thing of, hey, we're bringing Metroid Prime 4, and then a couple of years go by, and then we figure out, oh, you know what, they weren't doing it, or the previous company that we had working on it, they weren't performing up to our expectations. So we decided to scrap the whole entire thing and decided to give the project over to Retro Studios, who made the original Metroid Prime trilogy. Ever since then, we've been going through constant rumors and saying, there's going to be a Metroid Prime trilogy come down sometime in the works. And I honestly do feel like that's going to be true, because of the fact of the matter that, they gotta incorporate something of the previous game, so that way we can have a little kind of building the bridge or relationship to the Metroid Prime 4 though. But with this rumor it's bringing up the things to light in terms of, hey, we're about to get potentially a new Metroid in terms of like our 2D Metroids, because the last Metroid we got was Samus Returns, which was a remake of the second original Metroid game though. But to think that we might potentially have a fifth Metroid on the horizon. Now, I'm honestly really thinking that I think there might be some little bit of truth to this, because I feel like they want to strike while the iron's hot with the Metroid. So I feel like if, over the course of 2 years, we can get 3 games being like the Metroid Prime trilogy, Metroid 5, as well as Metroid Prime 4, I feel like, that's going to really appease Metroid fans, and we can see it if Nintendo can find a way to make the whole entire Metroid franchise, and see if they can actually make it bigger than, so to say, it has been up until this point. Because it isn't like one of Nintendo's biggest IPs though, but it is iconic for the whole thought and the process of it being basically, thanks to that game, we had the whole entire Metroidvania series though. So I really would like them to see them bring a Metroid 5. I'm like, oh gosh, based upon, and let Mercury Steam, the people that did Samus Returns, please let them be the ones working on this though, because I feel like I have a lot of hope that they can actually make a really good Metroid 5. So here's hoping that we get a really good Metroid game sometime in the near future. Now, moving on to the next topic. Now, a lot of y'all might be thinking, why in the world is this happening though? But apparently, Little Town Hero is getting a special physical edition, and they're getting help from NIS to be able to make this thing. And with this special limited edition, I am genuinely shocked, and I'm just kind of marveled. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if y'all hadn't heard about this Little Town Hero with the whole controversy of how Game Freak was making that game at the same time as they were making Pokemon Sword and Shield, I ain't gonna get down into the nitty gritty about, why people were sort of kind of upset about it though. But we know Game Freak for making Pokemon games, and and sometimes they'd be making little side projects along the way to, you know, help keep from burnout and, you know, try to keep little fresh ideas kind of going though. But apparently, you know, with Little Town Hero, it wasn't like their biggest sort of kind of success with that game, which is kind of understandable because, you know, their bread and butter is truly Pokemon though. But I do like the matter of fact that they're at least trying to do different things and try to bring things to the table though. So the matter of fact that this is actually getting a special edition, considering how bad the game sort of kind of flopped, like in terms of public opinion. I mean, shoot, they didn't even actually take the time out to actually advertise their game that much. Like, we literally got it within like a fall direct of like a couple of years ago, and then they came back a whole year later and brought one more trailer out, and they said, oh, the game's coming out within like the next couple of months. I didn't think, you know, I don't even know if they felt purely confident in that though. So the matter of fact that we're actually getting a little special edition with this, it kind of raises my eyebrows, and I know a lot of other people's eyebrows though, but yeah, apparently that is a thing. Now, moving on to the next topic, we have a new patent that was recently discovered, and it was a JoyCon patent for a stylus. Now, originally, when I thought about this, I was like, all right, one game kind of came into mind though, but let's go ahead and first talk about these games that actually could benefit from a stylus. Because whenever you actually look at that patent, it looks like they're actually using, you know, that wrist strap that some of y'all, or maybe none of y'all, really actually use for different games or whatever though, when you're just holding the Joy-Cons by themselves though. But if you can actually incorporate that and actually make part of that little strap an actual Joy-Con, where you can take off just the strap and use the strap by itself, or actually use it with the Joy-Con actually attached to it, I think that can actually open up a lot of different possibilities for what could be a stylus. Because imagine you running your hand or using your hand and trying to draw with that stylus, and then, you know, the Joy-Con rumbles with that HD rumble. That can just kind of provide like a unique kind of effect in terms of games that can actually use the stylus. Now, games that we know that probably use the stylus the most is, you know, Mario Maker 2, which, you know, for some oddball reason, they really didn't like to bring that Mario Maker 2 stylus over here to the US. I don't even know why. But they brought it to other areas in the world, such as like Europe and such. And I know that's like a main game that mainly uses the stylus. But also, we also have another game that, you know, Smash, you know, with the Smash stage creator, where, you know, a lot of people have been making some really cool stages, some really disturbing ones too though. But overall, some really good, cool ones though. And I think, you know, Smash Brothers can definitely benefit from a dedicated stylus that they'd be selling like this though. But if they actually make the stylus thing true, guess what? They can bring back my long-awaited series I've been wanting for years, none other than Pokemon Ranger. I've been wanting that thing since day one. As a matter of fact, that we're getting a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, and they're bringing back that game series. I'm like, man, come on, can we get some more spin-offs? Like if we got a spin-off for a remake of a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, can y'all go back and remake or give us a brand new Pokemon Ranger? I'm like, please, Nintendo, please let this stylus be true, and let me tell you, and please tell me the Pokemon Company, or, you know, the TPCI or somebody's just working on this, please. That's like my pie in the sky wish though. But overall, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see, you know, if they're actually going to do something stylus related though. Now, moving on to Monday, January the 20th, Sega announced that on the 20th of every month for the year of 2020, they will make a brand new Sonic announcement as we lead into the year of 2021, which so happens to be Sonic's 30th anniversary. Now, we do know that the Sonic movie is coming a little later down the road, and on, you know, Valentine's Day in February though. But the fact of the matter is that they're actually going to take the 20th out of every single month for this whole entire year and actually give us new Sonic a new Sonic announcement is actually pretty cool. Now, you know, I don't expect them to announce something big and major every single 20th though, but the fact of the matter is that we might get a few project reveals is actually pretty cool. And I feel like, you know, right off the top of my head, I feel like there's 4 different possibilities of what can actually happen. Number 1, I feel like they're gonna release like a Sonic kind of mobile game. Maybe it's like you know, because we never had like the Chow Garden in like years or whatever though, since like those Sonic Adventure games though. But what if, think about this, they actually make a mobile game featuring the Chow Garden. Now, you know, a lot of people kind of feel skeptical about, you know, certain kind of games, you know, coming to the mobile department with monetization and everything though. But you can't tell me that with them being able to do this, that they ain't gonna make a lot of money for making the Chow Garden game that's on a mobile game though. Just keep that in mind. Second thing I think they're gonna do is either make a brand new Sonic Adventure game, or most likely, you know, make an HD version of either the first game, the second game, or a combo pack with both of them in there. I think that's also another possibility. The third thing is Sonic Mania 2. that game did so good for the first game. I feel like there's got to be a sequel in the works somewhere. I just feel like they got to do it. And then last but not least, I feel like they're going to be announcing, you know, the big major next 3D Sonic. We don't know exactly where it will go based upon the past one that we just recently got back in 2017 with Sonic Forces. I'm not sure exactly, you know, what kind of direction they'll go with the brand new next one though. Sonic Forces was all right with me. It wasn't like the best game in the world. It wasn't the worst game in the world. It was just kind of like straight middle in between with all the, you know, past Sonic games though. So here's hoping that we get some good Sonic projects revealed for the year of 2020. Now also on this day, we also got a new infographic from Nintendo that basically showed 20 new exciting titles that are heading on the way this year though. And just looking at this at a quick glance, we basically know that Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE Encore is already out now, but in the future we will have Snack World coming out February 14th. We'll have Darksiders Genesis on February 14th. Devil May Cry 3, the special edition, on February 20th. I know some people are really excited about that one based upon, you know, the new features they're adding in with that game. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX on March the 6th. I'm really looking forward to that game. A small little game called Animal Crossing. I'm not sure exactly, you know, if anybody really plays that game in the series though, but if y'all do, let me know down in the comment section what do y'all actually think about that little small game though. Trials of Mana on April the 24th. Then we got SpongeBob Battle of the Bikini Bottom on May the 24th. Now, I'm not sure exactly if we actually had a hard concrete release day for that though, but now, well, now that we had this infographic, we sure do know that it's coming on that day. And then on June of 2020, we get the DLC expansion pass for Pokemon Sword and Shield, the first part of it. And then we get the second part of it in autumn of 2020. And that's like all it for confirmed, like solid release dates. But then we also know some like general, a little bit more vague release dates, like such as The Outer Worlds is supposed to come out in early 2020. Got to keep my eye on that one. Panzer Dragoon this winter. Minecraft Dungeons, April 2020. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, summer 2020. That game just kept getting delayed for some oddball reason. Doom Eternal, No More Heroes 3, Bravely Default 2. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to that one. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which I feel like they're definitely waiting on the direct to announce that actual release date though, because I'm really looking forward to that one. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Super Smash Bros. Fighters Pass Volume 2, which in my honest prediction, I feel like they might announce 2 or 3 of the first characters that should be within that Volume 2 throughout the year, and then Deadly Premonition 2. So those are all the games that we basically had to look forward to for the year of 2020. Moving on to the next topic, on Tuesday, January the 21st, Super Smash Bros. 64 actually turned 21 years old. And on Famitsu's Twitter, they were basically celebrating the milestone by sharing some pics from the game, and Sakurai replied back by saying, "Already 21 years, huh? Since the stages in the photograph have all been recreated in Smash Ultimate, I don't really feel nostalgic." And it's just kind of interesting to kind of see the way that Sakurai basically views the franchise that he basically created. And you know what, he's always looking forward. Like, he's not really looking back at what Smash used to be. He always has this mindset of always pushing forward, always making the series a bit greater with one character addition at a time, with each stage that's actually created, and all the balancing and tweaking that he tries to do to help perfect the things with all the details, as well as the all these worlds that get incorporated into Smash, and making sure that each one gets brought to a greater light. So it's really interesting to kind of see him, you know, have his little take based upon that little interview though. But thank you, Sakurai, for bringing 21 good long years of Smash Bros. To us. And also on that day, the prototype of Xbox Series X was leaked on Twitter. Now you can actually see the images right now on the screen though with this though, but it was really interesting to kind of see this sucker kind of release on or leak on the internet through Twitter, because, you know, honestly, you know, most people when they sort of kind of like leak or showcase things off that, they're obviously not supposed to, it's usually always like on some kind of random 4chan site or some kind of Reddit post or something like that, maybe some off-beaten path off of Discord or something like that, like some of the stuff we kind of saw with the Pokemon related stuff with Sword and Shield though. But it's kind of weird that how clear and detailed they had this prototype, taking pictures just on a random Twitter account, not thinking the fact that, they can actually trace us back, because they literally have like the serial code and stuff up on this mess. So it would be like fairly easy for them to trace this thing back. Now I got like two little things about this. Number one, we're dealing with like a really bad amateur in terms of, somebody that can actually be able to leak things out, or they're sort of kind of staging this thing out because they know like PlayStation 5 is right around the corner. Let's keep our system kind of a buzz. Go ahead and take this picture. Why don't you just randomly throw it up on the Twitter chat and let's try to get some little publicity around it. Maybe Phil Spencer's in on it though, but it has to be one of those two scenarios though, because I wouldn't imagine someone would just, obviously just leak something like that, just super plain and super obvious to see for everyone to be able to look at it though. But that's just my two takes up on it though. Now on Wednesday, January the 22nd, there were some more PS5 rumors, and we basically got to see some rumors that basically sort of kind of talked about the potential cost as well as some other details though. So it is rumored that the PS5 release date has been locked down for October of this year and will retail for about $500. And furthermore, Sony will finally unveil the console during the PlayStation meeting event in New York on February 5th. So that's the big major rumor. And there's also a little some other little tad bit of stuff here where it says like pre-orders for the PS5 will apparently go live right after the PlayStation meeting event, while the console specifications are said to be almost equivalent to the Xbox Series X. Now, from a lot of different rumors, we've been hearing that yes, the PlayStation 5 may be graphically, or just the tech within it is going to be a little less powerful than the Xbox this time around, because within the previous generation it was the PlayStation that was on top, or at least right out the gate, compared to what the Xbox was doing though. So overall, just to think and see that this console could potentially be $500, because think about it, the original PlayStation 4 was $400 at launch, and now with the PlayStation 5 potentially being $500, whew, we're getting a little pricey up there with that money though. And I'm not sure how exactly people are going to be dropping out this money to try to get this brand new system, because I've been considering potentially getting this, at some point, later down the future, down the road, some point after launch though. But $500, man, you're gonna have to make that justifiable. However, if you can manage to tell people, say, hey, the 5 will be backwards compatible not only with PS4 games, but PS3, 2, and 1, I think that's even a bit more incentive for people to be able to pick this up, because at least with this system, you can play basically all of, Sony's histories with their games that they basically released of. So it's interesting to kind of go through this information, and if this rumor actually holds any kind of truth or a little bit more credibility, then hey, you know what, you might need to keep your eyes up and about, because on February 5th, all could be potentially made clear. Because I feel like at some point here in the nearby future, we're going to have to see some bit of information from PlayStation 5, since we already know about the Xbox Series X and a lot more details with that as compared to the PlayStation 5 though. Moving on to the next topic, we have a bit of confirmation in terms of an interview that apparently the Doom Eternal director says they talked to Nintendo about Doomslayer in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but it's never gone anywhere. And here in front of me, I actually have the interview that Metroid was able to do with the director of Doom Eternal, and it basically played out like this. What about the rumors of Doomslayer being in Smash? This was actually a couple of days before the Byleth announcement. Do you think it could ever happen? Marty Stratton replied back, I don't know. We've asked him. You asked him? Yeah. Well, that's how Solid Snake got in. Will you discount it just because of the gore and violence though? I don't know. You would honestly have to ask them. We've never been approached and said, hey, can Doom Guy be in Smash? But we're open-minded if they want to ask. But we hear it all the time from fans who would say no. But you did ask them. We've had. I don't know who talked to who, but we bantered with them. And we have had a great relationship with them through bringing Doom 2016 to Switch and that kind of stuff. So we have great people over there, but it's one of those things where it's like, wouldn't it be cool? But it's never gone anywhere serious, so we'll see. So basically, you know, through the synopsis of this little interview, so this basically kind of shuts down any kind of possibility that Doom Guy could potentially actually be representative within Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, it would have been really cool to actually see him get represented, you know, as a third party potential candidate though. But the fact of the matter that, you know, this dude basically said, the director actually said that, hey, you know what, we never been approached by Nintendo. We tried to approach them, you know, at some point in the past. Somebody did some talking on our behalf or whatever though, but it hasn't gone anywhere serious though. And the matter of fact that Sakurai basically said after the previous Smash Brothers reveal of Byleth being included in Smash, that hey, you know what, the next 6 fighters that are coming to Smash have already been locked down in the concrete. Nintendo basically made these picks, and I'm just kind of trying to bring them to fruition though. So basically, the 6 characters that are coming to Smash are already been confirmed, and the matter of fact that, you know, the director for Doom Eternal basically said, hey, we hadn't been approached by Nintendo directly like that, pretty much almost kind of shoots down any kind of little bit of hope that the fact of the matter that Doom Guy could actually be within Smash. So that is a little bit disappointing for the Doom fans that might have been asking for Doom Guy to actually get into Smash all this time though. We'll have to wait and see for final confirmation, because I don't think this dude would necessarily say he would lie about them, you know, not trying to bring, you know, Doom Guy into Smash though. But the golden rule is generally, if your character is going to be associated with Smash, I usually never hear anybody actually say that they're associated with Smash before, you know, it actually has happened. At least not in like those last little bit of final moments right before the characters are supposed to drop though. But that's just my little 2 cents on that topic though. And lastly, on Thursday, January the 23rd, the Kingdom Hearts Rebind DLC launched for the PS4, and it costed $30. And however, even though the launch of this for the DLC actually released on PS4 yesterday, the fact of the matter that the Xbox One version of the DLC won't release until February the 24th. So if you do have Kingdom Hearts 3 on your Xbox One, that is a little bit unfortunate, that the fact of the matter that you do have to wait that a little bit of additional time in order for this DLC to be available to you though. But just to provide a little bit of background context over what this DLC is actually supposed to bring forth to the table, this is what it's actually about. So this is basically the other tale that unfolded during the climax of Kingdom Hearts 3. Determined to rescue Kairi, Sora travels to the Keyblade graveyard a short time before the final battle was to take place. Lacking a corporal form, he traces the hearts of the 7 Guardians of Light. Through experiencing their personal battles firsthand, Sora is about to discover the truths that he had never before imagined. And this, you know, DLC included like the additional story of the Rebind, the limited cut episode, and 13 boss battles, the secret episode and boss battle, data greeting feature, slideshow feature, and the premium menu though. So it seems like there was quite a bit of extra stuff that was within this Rebind DLC for $30. It does seem like if you're like a hardcore fan of the Kingdom Hearts series, I feel like you're definitely going to probably get your money's worth, because you like diving into, you know, all of that lore and all of the little extra information. Because from what it seems like is that this DLC is basically providing more context over some events that, you know, basically kind of filling in the gaps and the voids of what actually happened within the natural regular Kingdom Hearts 3 story. So being able to fill in and pour in a little bit more extra story and actually a little bit of content to actually provide you with a little bit more context of what was actually happening with certain characters' roles and, you know, their motives and whatnot though, is a pretty good, nice little touch. And I hope that all Kingdom Hearts fans really enjoy this though. Now please, Square Enix, please give us Kingdom Hearts on the Switch. It's about gosh darn time though. But other than that, that's about it in terms of that DLC though. And that is about it in terms of all the topics I have to discuss to y'all about all the gaming related news that happened within the past week that I wanted to talk about though. So down in the comment section down below, let me know what all you thought, basically what happened this week, some things that I reported on, what were your thoughts or takes up on it though, or maybe some things that actually happened within the gaming news world that I didn't even get to be able to report upon it though. So just let me know down in the comment section down below though. But overall, a crazy week for video games as a whole though, and honestly really looking forward to some potential new announcements that could be coming down in the future in terms of like the PlayStation 5 and what it's going to be bringing to the table with the games that should be associated with that, the power, the looks, the aesthetics, all of that stuff, the Sonic details in terms of what they could be potentially releasing on the 20th of every month. And I'm also really excited for Byleth that should be releasing just in a mere few days from now. That should be releasing on that next Tuesday though, so really looking forward to that though. But yeah, that's about it that I have for this video, y'all. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, this was MegaZard X signing out for this week's Gamers Brief.